All right, let's take a little journey, shall we? We're heading to the beautiful rolling Garo Hills of Meghalaya, a place whose name literally means the abode of clouds. This is home to the Garo people, and right at the very heart of their culture is a traditional rice beverage they call Chubitchi. But as we're about to find out, it is so much more than just a drink. And this quote right here, it just nails it. Chibita isn't something you can just grab off a supermarket shelf. It's a living, breathing piece of their heritage. It's a warm welcome, a symbol of who they are, and it's packed with generations of incredible knowledge about the world around them. So what is it about this drink that makes it so important to the Garo, who are, by the way, a really unique matrilineal society? Well, it's completely woven into the fabric of their lives, both spiritually and socially. It's even given as a sacred offering to their sun god, Saljong, during harvest festivals, a powerful way to say thank you for everything the land provides. So let's break down the name, because it's actually pretty cool. Chu means rice, and bichi means beverage. Simple, right? Rice beverage. But don't let that simplicity fool you. That one little name holds an entire universe of meaning. It's a part of their daily meals, it's the star of their biggest celebrations, and it's an absolutely essential part of their most sacred ceremonies. Okay, so let's get into how this stuff is actually made. And I'm using the word art here for a reason, because this is not just some simple recipe. It's a careful, sacred tradition. You're not going to find this knowledge in a book. It's passed down from person to person, usually mother to daughter, a kind of sacred trust held within the villages of the Garo Hills. The secret, the very soul of the brew, is something called wanti. Now, you can think of it kind of like a sourdough starter, but honestly, it's so much more. It's a little sun-dried cake made from rice and very specific local herbs. And here's the most amazing part. A tiny piece of an old wanti is always mixed into the new batch. It creates this direct, unbroken link from every brew to the next, literally carrying the past into the future. The unique character of the wanti and of the final Chubutchi comes directly from the local plants. This isn't just for flavor, okay? This is some deep, traditional knowledge of the forest. The brewers know exactly which plants to pick, like a chetra, some maki, and the sarth fern, and they even throw in a few local red chilies. Every single ingredient has a job to do, helping with fermentation, aroma, and even its traditional medicinal benefits. So how does it all come together? First, they make the wanti and dry it in the sun. Then they cook up some local sticky rice and let it cool. They mix in the powdered wanti, which kicks off the whole process. This mixture gets packed into a special clay pot called a dika, which has a bamboo sieve inside called a janti. Then they seal it all up and just let it sit. It's this quiet, almost magical transformation. And just look at this. This is exactly what I mean by a hands-on craft. You can see that incredible green wanti dough just full of herbs being kneaded by hand. And then the rice mixture being poured so carefully into that traditional earthen pot. Every single step is a physical connection to this ancient tradition. You know, this whole process isn't on a factory schedule. It moves with the seasons. In the warm summer months, fermentation is pretty quick, maybe a week to 10 days. But in the cooler hill winters, everything slows right down. The brew takes its time, sometimes up to a whole month, to let all those flavors get just right. Now, this brings us to just how deeply Chubitchi is woven into a person's life. See, it's not just for parties. It marks every single major milestone. It's like a constant companion, from the day you're born to the day you die. You could almost call it a liquid timeline of the Garo culture. I mean, just think about this. It starts at birth, where a few drops of a special version called chujangi, the drink of life, are given to a newborn. When it's time for a marriage proposal, it's a vital part of the ceremony. At the big Wangala harvest festival, it's offered to the gods. On any given day, it's shared among friends, helping pass down stories and legends. And yes, even at funerals, it's there to honor a life well lived. Now, you might be thinking, okay, it's one traditional drink, it probably has one specific taste. But you couldn't be more wrong. The Garo have an incredibly sophisticated palate for Chubitchi, with all these different varieties. And what's really cool is that modern science is just starting to understand the complex magic happening behind this ancient wisdom.
So yeah, there isn't just one Chubitchi. There's a sweeter version called Tumichik, which they call lady wine. Then there's the stronger, more bitter brew, Chubipa, or male wine. You've also got Kaki Maseng, which is both bitter and sour, and then Chumakrip, get this, which is sweet, salty, and bitter all at once. That shows an incredible level of brewing skill.
For centuries, the Garo people have used Chubitchi as a traditional medicine for things like stomach aches or joint pain. But what's so fascinating is that science is now starting to back this up. Research is showing that Chubitchi is full of probiotics. That's the good bacteria for your gut. It also has antioxidant and antimicrobial properties, and it might even help with regulating blood pressure. So, in our crazy, fast-moving world, how does a tradition like this actually survive? Well, let's take a look at how this ancient brew is protecting its legacy and finding its place in the 21st century. And this right here, this is a huge deal. In 2023, Meghalaya Chubitchi was given what's called a geographical indication, or a GI tag. This is the exact same kind of legal protection that things like champagne or Darjeeling tea have. It's a formal, official recognition of just how unique and culturally important it is. So why does that matter so much? Well, this GI tag acts like a shield. It protects the real deal from cheap imitations and from being exploited commercially. It makes sure that the name Chubitchi can only be used for the genuine beverage made in the Garo Hills by the Garo people using those time-honored methods. And here's the most crucial part. The GI tag legally anchors this tradition to its rightful owners. It puts it down in writing that the real knowledge, the true art of making Chubitchi, belongs to the Garo communities in their villages. They are the official guardians of this living piece of history. So this leaves us with one last thing to think about. In a world full of drinks that roll off an assembly line, Chubitchi is this powerful reminder that a beverage can be so much more than a product. It can be a library of memories, a symbol of community, and a real connection to the land. It kind of makes you wonder, what other stories are we losing when traditions like these begin to fade?